morning, guys. Good morning. Doing well, doing well. Happy Thursday. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Good morning. A little bit of a later start today. We're waiting on ADP was out today. Do have OPEC. So, guys, I kind of want to go over just my overall thoughts right now. Big thing. First off, happy June. We're going to call today the first official start of June. Because I know not everybody was in yesterday. First off, welcome if you're new. Obviously, I'm Mans. Welcome to the Pre-Market Live. This is where I'm going to go over my daily setups, my watch list. I don't know why my hair is all crazy right now, but this is where I'm going to go over my daily watch list, setups I'm looking at, and my plan for the open. So welcome. We'll do this every morning between 8:55 and 9 o'clock. And we'll obviously start to kind of go over what the plan is for the day. So welcome. Happy to have you in the Patreon this month, and hopefully you have a fantastic month and learn a ton. So good morning. First off, I want to start with yields, guys. Yields are relatively flat. 10-year yield. Obviously, I've told you guys about this. If you're not using this as part of your pre-market plan every morning, you need to be. Yields are flat currently. Just went red slightly by 0.01%, but currently flat. We'll see. This is going to be important today, guys. Do we get back over 3 on the 10-year yield, right? It's had that pullback. Or do we see yields come back down to the 2.8 level or, 2.75, right? But with yields up, it's very hard for equities to also continue to the upside because, right, and we talk about this, but this kind of really controls the equity market, right? And you know what? It's really important to watch every single day, right? So to give you a decent idea of direction. So if we see yields continue towards 3%, we're obviously going to see the equity market kind of pull down alongside it, in my opinion, unless we see some type of disconnect. I do want to kind of cover my main watch list and setups for the day. So first off, let's talk overall market, guys. Crypto does look good. Quickly talk about BTC. It was did break back over that 30K level briefly this morning. It has since pulled back just under 30K into the 29.5 or 29.9 area. Really, we'll need to get back over 30 and then push towards that 32.5 level if we really want to experience any type of major upside bounce. Otherwise, we're set up for a move back to 28 and probably 25K sooner rather than later. So very important to watch that as well, guys. Obviously, Bitcoin usually gives us a little bit of a clue as to where some of the growth names may be headed. Now, currently do want to talk about the overall market. Let's go ahead and look at the SPY. I usually look at the 30-minute in pre-market just to kind of chart out my levels, right, because there's not a ton of volume. We did just see a little bit of a move down under 410.95. That's a big key level, guys, and that 410.80 to 410.90 level, that's going to be a big spot for SPY, right? And the bigger area is that 412.50 level. A lot of people have been talking about it. We need to make a move over that 412.50 area in order to get back into this 416, 417 range and set up a move higher. However, right now we are breaking under that 410.80 level and flushing down, right? And really looks like we are going to test this 408.20 level. So hopefully you guys can see that well, but it really looks like we are headed back for a test of that 408.20 level, 408.20 level. So off of open, definitely going to be watching that. We are flushing down into support off open, which sometimes can be a little bit more of a bullish indicator. However, if we see this support crack, right, in this 407 to 406.81 area, that's where we really set up for a bigger downside move. Now, big area to watch is going to be that 406.81 spot, right? Yesterday's low, 406.94, and we need to watch that level. That'll be my bias level going into today. So if we see a move sub that 406.94 level and we confirm on the 15-minute after 10 o'clock, that would definitely be a downside trigger for me. SPY and QQQ, guys, can't emphasize this enough. I haven't been trading them until 10:15. We've seen a 15-minute trap candle one way or the other almost every day. If you're confused about what that is, you can go on my YouTube or on the Discord, and in the video section, there's a 15-minute trap lesson. That is kind of what I look for. Usually can dictate some nice market direction. So I don't usually trade the indices until 10:15. Yesterday did have a nice little 300% move on QQQ after scooping up that bottom. Definitely have seen some resiliency in the afternoon and a little bit of weakness in the morning. Same story on QQQ, guys. Really, again, the big key here is, do we hold this 303.70 to 304 zone, right? This is our zone. Our low of the day from Monday, right, was in this 304.29 area. And we obviously held that level. You can see they trapped on the 30-minute here too, right? If you look at these candles on the 30-minute on QQQ, look how these wicks extend down below this 304.30 level, but the body of the candle stayed above, right? Well, that signals, okay, that's the key level, right? Because they're closing the candles over. That's why we came back up. And again, guys, if we break under that level, that definitely sets up a further downside move. And again, I would be watching the 303.73 to 304.30 zone as we head into open. We are flushing down a little bit more now. We're at 304.91. So it looks like we are going to be set up to test the support zone off of the open, right? Now, if we bounce off that support with strength, that's a good sign. If we see a lot of weakness and it's a pretty weak bounce off this level, that's going to be a good indication on the short side, right? Now, let's talk about a couple of other names that are going to be in my focus list this morning. Chewy, number one. Calls should still be nice here, even with the earnings. Obviously, they're not in the money, so they're not going to probably be up like 1,000%. I think they should be a nice move, though. Still, it's up 16%, which did beat the implied move of, I believe, 13.8%. And I actually think this has some gas left in the tank. I did add commons in this 28 area, probably a little bit closer to resistance than I would have liked, but personally, I love the setup here. This is a company that was supposed to lose money this quarter, and they actually made, right? They beat by 4 cents a share. Positive. They were expected to lose 14 cents a share. So for me, this is a really, really nice top setup long side. If we do see a bounce of support at 304 on QQQ, this is going to be the area I look to as far as relative strength to play the upside. Maybe just play QQQ. But honestly, guys, I found that, like on Monday, for example, QQQ was relatively choppy, not a ton of volume. And that's why I don't love trading the indices right now. The volume is just very low. After a company has a good earnings, we saw this with Roblox, we saw it with CRM yesterday, they usually have really good daily relative volume because there's a lot of shares exchanging hands when a company has good earnings or really bad earnings, right? If it's a drastic move, they're likely going to have strong volume, which is what I love to trade, is good things with good relative volume. Contracts move nicely, extremely liquid, can size up a little bit. I like the Chewy setup here. Again, watching this 26.84 level, you can see that is our support. We had a wick down in after hours, early this morning, I guess. And we saw that wick get bought up and then it moved back. The key upside level here is going to be that 28.58 level. Do we hold this 26.84 level off open? If so, I like it to the long side. But again, this is one where you need to just read the volume off the open, which I'll be going over on live voice in the Discord. Very similar to Roblox after earnings. If we see stronger buying volume off the open, that's going to be a good indication. This is something I want to play with smaller size. So this is one of those names where it's a higher confidence setup, but I'm likely going to probably play the weeklies here or maybe next week and just smaller size in general, right? Just with it being off open, we don't really have a firm trend yet. And when that, even if you notice good volume, all those things, really in this market, it's better to be safe than sorry. And so for me, it's all about sizing down and, really just not trying to do too much. That's the theme of this market, is not trying to do too much. Okay, so Chewy definitely on watch. If we break 26.84, 26.13 would be the support level I would look to. That was our highs on the 26th. If we can firm that up, again, I think there's a decent chance we definitely see some support in this 26 area. Now, I will be looking at next week and this week's calls, but I'll probably play next week just because, avoid some of that IV crush, right? And I really think that's just, it's Thursday, right? I know, guys, it feels like Wednesday. It feels like Wednesday to me too. But with the short week this week because of Monday off, definitely going to be a focus. CRM, other name with relative strength, guys. This one, got to look at the hourly here. Definitely some support in this 175 range, big psych level there. If we bounce at 175, I do like upside calls on this one. The 182 calls look interesting to me here. Obviously touched highs of 185, 184.44, 184.42. Wow, say that 3 times fast. And so this one is interesting to me if we can hold this 174 area of support, right? So definitely going to be watching that. If we break below, might be a decent short setup, but I do like it if it can hold this 174.30 area off of the open long side. I don't trade CRM too much, and I like to stick with names that I'm relatively familiar with. So I'll look at this one, but this isn't going to be anything I take big size on or anything like that. But definitely looking towards this one. Weeklies are interesting to me here because it flushed end of the day yesterday, and obviously it had its earnings the day before. So I do like the setup there off that 174.32 spot. Quick reminder, RH, earnings after hours. I do like the 305 calls here, 300 calls. This one is spready, and the premiums are expensive because William and Sonoma beat. But I still think that this one could make, a pretty nice move, but depends on the market that we see. So, but just reminding, I do like this one for earnings, and it is after the close today. Now, 2 other names I do want to talk about that are going to be kind of focus names for me. NVIDIA is one. Guys, big support at this 180 psych level. Okay, so 181 to 180 has been a pretty strong area of support, and if we crack under 180, I think that this will find 172 pretty quickly. If we look back at the daily, right, this 180 area has been like a big confluence level. Obviously, really strong resistance at 205, but I am going to be watching NVIDIA for a break under this 181, 180 zone. If we break under that, more than likely see a move down towards this 170 level. So definitely interested in NVIDIA short side here if the overall market is weak. However, again, we are flushing into support on the indices off of the open. Yields are flat. We may see a bounce. So a couple other things I do want to mention. Target is another one that I'm going to be looking at. TGT. This looks like a really nice short setup, I'm not going to lie. If it breaks 156, that would be the area I would look to go short on. I did not put this one on the watch list, but it just kind of came to my attention after I saw Costco had a price target upgrade. This one's very interesting to me. It rejected the 168 level, and now on the daily, it definitely looks like a pretty solid short side trade down to the 150 level. So I'm going to be watching this one today. This would be probably one I would look towards playing next week on. But I do like the target puts if we do see weakness in the space, right? So on SPY, QQQ, etc. And then, have to have an eye on Costco and a couple other names. But weaker earnings here, and I think that we could be set up for a move to the downside. So definitely putting this one on the watch list. Under 156, I do like this trade down to the 150 level. So that's going to be one I definitely am watching. Now, a couple other things I do want to talk about quickly. Netflix swing. This one needs to hold 190, guys. Not an ideal entry yesterday. A little bit overzealous on that one and really thought we were going to see that upside break. However, we rejected at that earnings area, right? That earnings gap down area at the 204 level, came just within $1 of that spot. And I'd really like to see this one bounce and move to the upside today. If we cannot hold this 190 level, guys, then I would have to stop out. That's the past 2 daily candles, right? Big support at that 190 area. That is going to be my stop on this. I don't want to let it go too long. So a daily close under 190, and I would have to exit. I'm currently in the June 17 240 calls on Netflix. I do have some commons also. But that's going to be a big area that we need to watch on the Netflix swing. So, again, guys, top watch off open, Chewy, TGT, and CRM will be on my watch list. I'm going to be watching QQQ just to get an overall feel of the market, but definitely Chewy's going to be on watch and looking for that good relative volume off of the open. If we see it, great. Should be a nice long side trade. Don't want to focus short side on something with relative strength after a good earnings, so definitely going to be looking long side on that one. As far as short side, I'd be probably looking towards SQ and TGT. So definitely going to have my eye on those. I'm going to go ahead and hop on the Discord live voice now in about 2 minutes. If you are confused on how to access that, just go to the left-hand side of the Discord, scroll down, and you'll see Man's Live Trading, and you just hit connect, and you'll be able to hear me. I'm going to go over everything that I'm doing. I'll walk you through what I'm doing and kind of show you what I'm seeing and go over what I'm looking for. Don't worry, I'm not like super obnoxiously loud or anything. I am going to play Levels by Avicii right off the open, so prepare yourself for that. But Other than that, guys, really, like I said, don't try to do too much in this market. No reason to be trying to hit home runs like crazy right now, even though did just hit one on Amazon, and that's probably why I got a little bit overzealous with the Netflix swing. But as of right now, I still really do love that trade, but really need to see how the overall market handles itself today. So quick update on yields before I go. Slightly red now on the 10-year yield, down under 2.9 barely. So just going to keep that on watch today. All right, guys, I'll see you on the pre-market live voice, or excuse me, on the live trading voice in the Discord in about 3-4 minutes. Peace out, guys.